Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. We are on the last 2.5 days of my CKM from Sibio Technologies, CKM Continuous Ketone Monitor. So we're gonna try to squeeze in a few more things before the end of this timer. If you are getting tired of seeing these videos, fear not, they will be over soon. If you are new here, I am Lindsey. I do what I eat in a day videos, recipes, content where I'm just sitting here talking to you about my personal experience. And I do that all in a keto-friendly way. If those things are interesting to you, I would love to have you join me here on my channel. And for my returning viewers, thank you so much for being back. Let's get on to today's trial. I will put a link in the description box below that is to their actual website, SibioSensor.com. They're still in the Kickstarter phase, but you can actually go ahead and pre-order some of these bad boys. Quickly, I want to discuss last night. We host a small group here at our house every other week, and we gather together. We all contribute to a meal. We share that meal together. We enjoy one another's company, and oftentimes other people bring things that are not friendly to a low carb or a keto lifestyle. And I sort of come to terms with things like this in this way. I produce food that will be friendly to me and my husband following the keto way. And I offer that to everybody. I also want to make sure that I receive the blessing others have given of their contribution. So I usually try to take a little bit of something that other people bring. Last night we did Chinese food. I made my General Tso's chicken recipe that I do have here on my channel. I will try to link that in the iCards above. I also made some beef and broccoli. So 2 friendly options for my husband and I. And then other people brought, there was lots of rice, there were some different chicken things, some different beef things. And with Chinese food, usually there's some kind of a sticky sauce. So I went into it knowing that I was likely to consume way more carbs than what I normally would. And I thought to myself, I can choose to cut myself off or not receive what somebody else has chosen to offer. But I'm not battling chronic disease. I'm not battling cancer. I'm not trying to do some very rigorous health things for some serious issues. I'm a pretty run-of-the-mill kind of middle-aged woman who doesn't seem to be battling anything serious at this stage. If those were things I was dealing with, I would have been very disciplined and very diligent to only eat food that I knew exactly what was going on with. So I did choose to eat some of these things, which did mean that I got a rise in my glucose, and it also meant that I had a serious dip in my ketone readings. Overnight, let's see here, let me see if I can't scrub through here and find last night. So dinner happened around 6 p.m. or so, which my ketones started before eating at a 0.3, but I had also had a little bit of stress, running around, getting the house all tidied up, making sure children had things put away so that, nobody digs through all of their schoolwork that has to get graded. So, just a little bit of a heightened level of stress, but not bad stress, just focused attention on getting things done in a timely fashion, if that makes sense. So my ketones were at 0.3 reading, which does seem to be a consistent thing for me. And then as the evening progressed, they kind of rose a little bit to a 0.6. And then that was around 8 p.m., 8:30. And then they just consistently declined. They just declined the whole evening, all the way through the middle of the night until, 2:30 a.m., I dropped down to a 0.0. That is the very first time I have seen a 0.0 on my readings, which was very interesting and not unexpected. You know what I mean? And now it is the next day. I stopped eating, I think it was probably about 10 o'clock or so, maybe 10:30. I've only been fasted for just now starting to push 13 hours. And my current ketone reading is 0.5, but that's only been going for about 15 minutes. So here, just, within the past couple of minutes, it's sort of started to climb. I am hungry and I do want to get some good fat in me so that my body can just, reorient itself after having more carbs than what I would usually. So I think what I'm going to do today is I am going to combine sardines with just my run-of-the-mill everyday food. I did the trial with just having sardines, which resulted in a rise in my readings, which was great. I want to see what happens if I just add them to a normal breakfast for me. And a normal breakfast for me is scrambled eggs and butter, or scrambled eggs and mayonnaise with sriracha or with Cholula. That's the direction I think I'm going to take today, is just adding on some sardines and seeing what happens, because I think I could not eat just a tin of sardines on a regular basis. I think I would have to have it with other food, and eating 4 tins of sardines in one sitting is not something I desire. And ultimately, I want to be able to eat things that make this lifestyle sustainable for me, rather than just what can I do to manipulate the numbers. All right, food time. 4 eggs scrambled in about a tablespoon of butter, and I only have about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of my homemade mayonnaise. On top of that, obviously, I need to make more mayonnaise. That is always the case in our house. I do have real salt in there. It's my favorite salt. I do have a link in my description if you are interested in grabbing yourself some real salt and a bit of a discount. And then I also put some Cholula on top. And I've got the Season brand sardines, and these are in 100% olive oil. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna tack that on. They just don't, oh gosh, I'm squirting all that olive oil out. Okay, I am going to eat this and then take another reading. 12:03, just finished eating the last bite of eggs and sardines. I will say sardines with Cholula are a lot more enjoyable to hork down than just opening a tin and doing it without the Cholula. Current reading is a 0.4, and we're gonna see how quickly my ketones sort of respond to the food I've just ingested. I did not drink the olive oil this time, and I'm wondering if I should have. For the sake of consistency, I probably need to. So good. At least the hot sauce was in there this time. I don't think sardines are going to be a daily practice for me. Nope. I think the thing about the sardines isn't necessarily the initial consumption of them. It's like if you burp after the fact, and it's just like it just stays with you all day. That's just not the business for me. So I have a cup of black coffee here that I'm going to sip on while managing children, managing work things around the house, and yeah, we'll see how the ketones fare. We are at 1:02 p.m., so we're an hour in, and I'm at a 0.3. All right, it is 3:05, and my ketones have finally come above the 0.5 threshold. That's fresh information. That has only happened in the last 10 minutes. So the sardines did not have a quick impact on my ketone readings like they did when I did just the sardines by themselves. I will be curious to see how long the readings show above 0.5 since I had extra food with it. And most often when I do regular food, it seems to take my body a couple of hours to register ketones with the CKM. So I'll check back in a little bit. Time to check ketones again. I've still not had anything additional, and unsatisfying. It is a 0.4 right now. It's disappointing that the sardines are not creating the impact I thought they would. Now, I do understand that I'm only having them one time here, one time there, rather than doing a full-blown sardine fast where I'm having only sardines for 72 hours. I'm not going to do that. That is not something that I would do practically on a daily basis or weekly basis or anything like that. So if I'm unwilling to do it long term, I'm not willing to test that out. I have less than 48 hours left on my CKM right now, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be testing for that last little bit of time, but I'll be sure to film it. Clearly, sardines are something that still need to be tested for me specifically in order to figure out what the sweet spot is. I'm glad to have learned that I do not hate them. I mean, I don't crave them, but I don't hate them. So that is all valuable information. I've done a few other videos using this continuous ketone monitor, and if you would like to join me in this video right here, I'll see you over there.